I'm like so ready to just throw my phone away. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I know it's gonna happen. If you have any opinions, I don't want to hear them.
But you don't seemingly like your own character, so she comes off as an insufferable, whiny brat.
Rachel is literally the star of a Disney movie, and she acts like she's some sort of victim, and that's the sort of mentality that is just poisoning people's minds. Like, she acts like her life is so bad.
I truly do believe that. There's something wrong with her. She's disturbed, she's unhappy, and she thinks it's about feminism and the patriarchy and about abortion. The reality is she's just not stable, like the majority of people in Hollywood. They're just not stable human beings.
So I decided to walk to this studio because it's really pretty out. It's only like a 15-minute walk. I haven't been out to walk in a warm place in a really long time, so it kind of feels just like wrong, and I feel like I'm forgetting everything that I know.
Rachel Zegler was supposed to make her triumphant return to the spotlight after controversial press tours, awkward interviews, and mounting public backlash over her Disney casting. The Evita revival on London's West End was meant to be her redemption arc, a stage classic, a legendary role, a fresh start. Instead, it's turned into the most chaotic chapter of her career. According to multiple shocking leaks, Zegler wasn't just replaced quietly. She was allegedly escorted out of rehearsals by security, labeled a nightmare.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Rachel, you got time to find some autographs for us, Rachel? Rachel, please. Rachel, you got time
Thank
to
you,
find
Rachel.
them, Rachel? Maybe on the way out?
In internal director notes, and quietly scrubbed from the production without a single public explanation. The kicker? These weren't fan rumors or tabloids twisting drama. These were real documents, real messages.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business. Thanks.
And real people from inside the show confirming everything. And while Rachel's gone completely silent, the internet hasn't. What began as whispers has exploded into one of the most brutal PR disasters of the year, and it's only getting worse. The downfall didn't begin with a headline. It started with a leak. A single screenshot quietly dropped into a locked industry Discord, then reposted to Reddit and picked up by niche theater blogs. What it contained wasn't gossip. It was a page allegedly pulled straight from the Evita director's internal notes.
And if you've ever seen Evita, it is a challenging part to play, and I don't think she has the temerity, the stamina, you pick a word here, in order to pull it off going, every single day that the theater is open.
Dated, formatted, labeled Week 3 rehearsal summary. And the first bullet point, Zegler remains combative in all creative discussions, refuses to take direction, demands revisions mid-rehearsal without approval. It only got worse. The memo described her as isolated from the ensemble, openly criticizing co-stars, and constantly clashing with choreographers.
Well, Rachel was desperate to play Eva Perron. It was her idea, and we saw an audition tape, and she was absolutely sensational. She worked with our musical supervisor in New York on the material. Her versions of the songs were terrific. Jamie's excited, Andrew and Tim are excited. So, it should make for a fabulous summer at the Palladium. Ticket sales are already, through the roof. So we're really thrilled about that.
Then came the line that broke the internet. Her presence on stage is magnetic. Her presence backstage is toxic. It wasn't just brutal, it was specific, professional, real. And suddenly, a rumor turned into a scandal. Insiders confirmed the format was legit. Fans didn't know whether to be shocked or say, "I told you so." Behind the scenes, the chaos had already reached a boiling point.
Not to add fuel to the Rachel Zegler Oscar fiasco, but why did they have these women, all Disney princesses, all stated as Disney princesses, come out to present, but not include Rachel Zegler, who's going to be Snow White? They're clearly acknowledging Disney princesses from movies that have not been released yet. Someone must have had this conversation and then they purposely left her out, even though she was the only one with a hit movie this year of the four. Did anyone else notice this, or am I overthinking?
According to multiple sources, Rachel wasn't just difficult, she was disruptive. Rehearsals reportedly turned into battlegrounds. She challenged choreography mid-session, clashed with the vocal coach, and even arrived late enough times that it started delaying full cast run-throughs. Then came the tipping point. During what was supposed to be a closed-door rehearsal, Rachel allegedly refused to perform a newly choreographed scene, sparking a heated exchange with the director in front of the entire cast. Witnesses say voices were raised, tempers flared, and in a moment that stunned everyone, Rachel was escorted out by security. Not quietly, not behind the scenes. Right there, center stage, in front of the full production team. Just days later, a grainy rehearsal video hit TikTok, showing a different actress standing in Rachel's place, singing "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina." No context, no confirmation, just chaos, and the internet went wild. What followed wasn't a press release or a damage control interview, it was silence. No word from the producers, no official announcement, and most shocking of all, nothing from Rachel. Her once busy social media feeds went dark. The Evita official pages stopped posting. Fans were left to piece together a puzzle with no answers. Who was the mystery actress in the viral clip? Was Rachel fired? Did she quit? Why wasn't anyone saying anything? That silence became the loudest part of the story. Speculation exploded across Reddit, TikTok, and Twitter. Theories ran wild, from last-minute contract disputes to secret understudy takeovers. But the production refused to speak. The vacuum created by the lack of answers only fueled the backlash. And then, just when it seemed like the drama had hit its peak, a second wave of leaks dropped, internal notes and private chats that would rip the curtain wide open. The second leak shattered any remaining doubt. This time, it wasn't just a rehearsal summary. It was a full-blown expose. Screenshots of internal director notes and private WhatsApp messages between producers started circulating, painting a damning portrait of what was really happening backstage. One note read, "We're building a musical, not a kingdom, but Rachel thinks she's royalty." Another described her as openly critical of co-stars.
Studios really need to go back to what they originally did, which was tell your stars to shut up and not say things, because no one is paying to hear your star say offensive things off the screen.
At odds with choreographers, and disruptive to the flow of rehearsals. The WhatsApp thread was even more brutal. One producer wrote, "This isn't sustainable. If she doesn't adjust, we move forward without her." Another replied, "Director already prepping the understudy. She's done." While these messages haven't been officially confirmed, theater insiders say the language and formatting matched known West End production reports. And just like that, the speculation was over. Rachel Zegler didn't leave on her own terms. According to those inside, she was pushed out, hard.
But it's also really important to me that I share with you not only the really good, exciting moments, but also like the little blips where I just don't feel great. I think that's really important that you see me as a human being, because I think a lot of people don't. So I don't know. I want that disclaimer out.
Once the leaks hit the internet, the floodgates opened. Anonymous crew members started speaking out, quietly but consistently, on locked forums, deleted threads, and burner accounts. What they revealed made the director's notes look tame. One assistant choreographer claimed Rachel refused to perform set sequences, called the staging boring, and insisted on improvising during live shows. A wardrobe team member said she rejected over a dozen outfit options in a single week, demanding constant changes and rejecting designs for not looking powerful enough. Ensemble cast members alleged that Rachel began giving notes to other actors, unprompted, publicly, and often contradicting the director's vision. Some said they requested to be blocked away from her entirely to avoid confrontation. The backstage environment had reportedly become so toxic. Even senior staff couldn't keep it under control. What started as a troubled rehearsal turned into a hostile workplace. And at the center of it all, Rachel Zegler spiraling under the spotlight. And through all of it, Rachel said nothing. Not a denial, not a clarification, not even a vague Instagram story. For someone who built her brand on being outspoken and unfiltered, the silence was deafening.
I'm like so ready to just throw my phone away. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I know it's gonna happen. If you have any opinions, I don't want to hear them.
Her social media, once filled with updates and behind-the-scenes posts, went completely dark. Even her bio, which had proudly listed Eva Perón just weeks earlier, was quietly wiped clean. Her last post, a moody black and white photo captioned, "Sometimes you outgrow the rooms you were never meant to shrink into," posted the day before the viral clip surfaced. Since then, nothing. No response to the leaked notes, no defense of her behavior, no pushback against the firestorm of headlines. And in the world of social media, where silence often speaks louder than words, fans began turning. Some believe she's been advised to stay quiet due to legal issues. Others say it's a strategy. But most agree her silence is making things worse. In the theater world, reputation is everything. And words like combative, uncooperative, and disruptive don't just disappear, they follow you. Evita wasn't just another role for Rachel Zegler. It was her shot at legitimacy, her stage-based redemption after a string of PR disasters. Instead, it's now being cited as a cautionary tale. Industry insiders are already whispering about the damage. Producers talk, casting directors remember. And once you're labeled as difficult, opportunities start vanishing quietly, without explanation. No callbacks, no contracts, just silence. What's worse is that this wasn't one isolated complaint. It was multiple departments, multiple voices, all echoing the same concerns. If the leaks are even half accurate, Rachel may be facing something far more serious than online backlash, a full-blown career freeze. not because of one bad night, but because of a pattern, one that's now been documented, shared, and archived across the internet. And in this business, that kind of damage lingers. As the backstage drama unfolded, the internet split into two fierce camps. On one side, fans rallied behind Rachel, claiming she was being targeted for speaking her mind in an industry that still punishes bold, opinionated women. Viral TikToks compared her to other difficult stars who were later vindicated, with captions like, "You don't hate her, you hate that she doesn't need your approval." Supporters painted her as a scapegoat, a casualty of an old-school system trying to silence a modern voice. But on the other side, the backlash grew louder and meaner. Reddit threads tore apart every past interview. Twitter users resurfaced her most awkward Snow White soundbites and stitched them directly to the Evita meltdown, claiming this was all part of a pattern. Even neutral fans began turning, frustrated by the silence and embarrassed by what they once supported.
Exclusive! Branding experts warn that Rachel Zegler backlash could ruin Disney's big-budget Snow White remake and predict executives will be having crisis talks in order to win back fans ahead of the 2024 release. Rachel Zegler has been running amok and talking all about this new role that she will be playing as Snow White and how it has been reimagined.
It's no longer 1937.
And people are pissed, right? Because she's playing this iconic role and she's talking about how the movie is dated.
The cartoon was made 85 years ago. It's extremely dated.
It needs to be redone. Snow White is not going to be
Saved by the prince.
And she's in fact going to be a girl boss feminist who don't need no man.
She's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
I don't think Disney anticipated that it really has a deep and strong emotional place in their childhoods and throughout their lives. And maybe that film from 1937 did not need to be reimagined.
The court of public opinion had opened, and Rachel Zegler was standing trial. Just when it seemed the scandal had hit its peak, whispers of something bigger started to surface. According to one entertainment lawyer, Rachel's team may be preparing legal action, possibly issuing cease and desist letters to stop further leaks. That could explain the total silence from all sides. But insiders say it might be too late. Rumors are swirling that more footage exists. Not just the grainy clip that went viral, but a full video of the final rehearsal, allegedly recorded from the tech booth. If that footage ever leaks, and if it matches the chaos described in the memos, the fallout could be catastrophic. This wouldn't just confirm the backstage tension, it would show it. And once something like that hits the internet, there's no putting it back in the bottle. Legal threats may slow the leaks, but they can't erase what's already out there. And the fear now? That the worst is yet to come. What started as a prestigious casting has spiraled into one of the messiest implosions in recent theater history. Rachel Zegler walked into Evita hoping to rebuild her image. No CGI, no fairy tales. Just raw talent on stage. Instead, she's at the center of a storm made of leaked memos, backstage feuds, and complete radio silence. And that silence, it's speaking volumes. In an era where stars can shape their own narratives in real time, Rachel's decision to disappear is only fueling the chaos. Because if the leaks weren't true, wouldn't she say so? If she wasn't fired, wouldn't she fight back? Fans are left watching in real time as a promising career stalls under the weight of controversy. And with more leaks possibly on the way, including that rumored rehearsal video, this story isn't cooling down. It's just heating up. Whether Rachel stages a comeback or fades into silence, one thing is clear: this isn't over yet.